Friends, hello. May 21st, 2023, Virtual Strangers, episode 187, coming at you. I, of course, am your host, Wes. With me, as always, is my good friend, Ruuts. Ruuts, thanks for staying awake for me, bro. We're getting on a little late tonight, huh?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Oh, God. Hold on one second. I got to turn something off or something, man. Something is happening here.
Oh, you got audio bleeding in?
Oh, my God, dude. Because I've got some kind of a... Okay. I have something going on here. Like, there's something going on. Some kind of trailer or something that's really loud. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it is. I guess I don't need to have my audio on my thing. But that whole time, all of a sudden, this trailer started. And it was... I couldn't hear anything but that. And I've been scrambling looking for it. And I don't know where it's at. I don't know.
Do you have a YouTube browser open per chance?
Well, yeah, I have that open. I've got a lot of things open. I have all these different pages for what we're doing, right? So
I know that's what it. Yeah, there's an ad or something going on.
On one of these pages, and it was loud, Wes. It was like so loud, and like even to the intro, I couldn't hear you. And so I'm like, yeah. So that's what's happening. That's why Ruuts' face was so freaked out. But yeah, no, I'm awake. I'm really awake after that trailer started thing. I wanted to shout out to Spry Guy, say happy birthday, and then also say happy birthday to D as well.
Happy birthday, D. It's D's birthday today. That's the reason why I didn't go in and take my leaderboard spot back from her.
I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah, I hear it still coming through the headphones. I sent it to my Rift. The
That's
sound.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's still going through there. But yeah, she I guess it's right underneath GT's, that one that is like everybody wants to know how he does it in 17 seconds, right? For Zombie.
Oh, so she's the very first one. See, I knew that she had taken one of my scores because she was gloating, but she was smart. She didn't tell me exactly what it was, so I couldn't just go and...
Well, Ruuts just helped Wes out, so I hope that helps you out, Wes.
Oh, it's all right. It was going to happen. That was inevitable anyway. I was going to go take that one back from GT just because Eric seems to be so damn impressed by it. So yeah, 15 seconds. I'm calling it right now.
Well, she didn't beat GT. She just beat you. So.
Yeah, well. Happy birthday, D. Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, enjoy the fact that you have, for once, a record on there. So I want to know, I really do want to know where that trailer is. It's really bizarre to me that there was like, somebody asked if I had Steam open, which no, I forced Steam closed when I had a lockup in Firmament, so it is.
Now I want to know. Now I want to know which one it is. I'm going to have to click through and find it.
Oh, I found it. Motherfucker, man. It was the Crimen Mercenary Tales official release date trailer. That thing's
what
loud.
I get. That's what I get for trusting IGN with our show stuff, man.
Yeah.
I thought I'd do something cool and put an IGN link in here, and well, it just tears everything apart whenever I do it.
That was it. I'll tell you, that was crazy. It was very loud. Now I can go back to system and know that I've got my sounds so that people could hear this.
My mom.
So
anyway, we are here. We made it. We are live. Glad to be back. You know, we took last Sunday off just because there was nothing. And oh, what a different 7 days makes, because we go from last week where we literally had 3 stories to talk about last week, and it was stuff like a game we already knew was coming has a release date. Another game got pushed back a little bit. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot to talk about. So instead of doing the show live last week, I went live and did 3+ hours in Resident Evil 4 in Reshade, or not Reshade, but Prey Dog mod. And we went live, but we just didn't have a show. But here we are 7 days later, Ruuts. Not only do we have stuff to talk about this week, we have so much stuff to talk about this week. I'm going to be surprised if we get it done less than 3 hours.
Oh God. Well, I'll tell you what. I accept that challenge. Let's go. No, I think we'll do it. I think we got it done. No problem. What did you think of the Resident Evil 4? Was it everything that you hoped it to be?
It's everything I expected it to be. Obviously, the mod hasn't been optimized yet for Resident Evil 4. You know, it was a mod that was made for the engine to run those other games, and they haven't put it in first person yet or any of that sort of things. But I had fun playing it, man. Like, I lost track of time. I didn't want to quit, but it was getting late and I had other stuff going on, so I had to stop. But yeah, man, it's cool. It's got me excited for the future of Resident Evil 4 in VR, which should be official PSVR 2 support.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll be soon.
Right. Well, hopefully we should know soon, because I don't know if you caught the headline or not, Roots, but it's going to be a pretty good month for VR starting this week as the PlayStation 5 showcase goes live on Wednesday. First showcase we've had in nearly 2 years, Roots.
Wow, that's crazy. What are your thoughts, Wes? And it may not even be VR worthy news, but we don't know. But I was reading something that said that we should expect to hear something as to why Sony picked up Bungie when they do the showcase.
Really?
Yeah. And I thought that was interesting as well. I told D not to expect VR but it's possible we hear something about Destiny 3. You know, I mean, it's been a long time that Destiny 2 came out, and
that's true.
It'd be cool.
That's true, and we know we are going to get some VR announcements. Like, it was in the headline, like that. These are going to be multiple announcements from first party and third party studios for both PS5 and PSVR 2. So this is the one. This is the one we've been speculating about. This is the one we've been waiting on. Like, if we come out of Wednesday just not over the moon, then we probably should move over to the Wolveriza side of the of the line, and that maybe Sony doesn't care. But I know that's not the case, and I'm super excited to see what they have in the bag for us.
I know. How cool is it that usually it's like we have to temper our expectations, and or they'll come out and say there's not going to be any VR talk at all. You know what I mean, or whatever. And now it's like specifically they came out and said that this is pretty much a 50-50. Well, they didn't say that, but that's how I read it. I want to read it that way, Wes. So,
well, how much VR do you think we're going to get realistically here? Again, this isn't a state of play. This is a showcase. It's over an hour long.
I think we're going to get more
advertising
than you would think. More. Because this is the thing. This is their push. This is the PlayStation VR 2 push. This is what they waited for. This is the release. Everybody said there was a soft release, or not everybody, but a lot of people said there was a soft release. I really believe there was. I think they made sure, which is kind of cool. I was thinking about it the other day. They made sure that all the people that love PlayStation VR got their headsets. There was no weird shenanigans. There was no scalping. There was no real. There was no real desire. Well, for the PlayStation VR2s, there was no real rush to get them, because everybody could get them from PlayStation Direct, right? And then once everybody got them, and everybody had a very long time to get them, now the public is getting them. So
I like it. I like this kind of. I mean, obviously, it creates a little bit of negative press, because people, they haven't sold 5 million in 2 months, so now VR's dead again. But I mean, think about what a clusterfuck it was trying to get a PS5. Imagine if they had done this for PS5 and people could only get it direct from Sony for like 3 months. Like, that would have just cut the legs right out from under all of those people that stockpiled these things to scalp them, and then they're still sitting on that stock. By the way, they all got fucked, which I love.
Yeah. I think they really, Sony did learn something, or either that or they just wanted to avoid the whole issue. I still kind of feel like some of those companies were, the way they did things made the scalping possible. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh, you can't even go into the store to pick them up, man. I don't know. It was weird. So
We did get some comments this past week from Sony Interactive Entertainment President and CEO Jim Ryan about PSVR 2. He says it's a bit premature to judge the adoption of PSVR 2 as it's only recently launched. But I am pleased to have received a large amount of positive feedback from our users and from the media. I mentioned a few of the supported titles earlier, but we have released over 40 titles across the launch window, with many more titles coming for 2023 and beyond. We will continue our push, both for purchasers of PSVR 2 to be able to enjoy it in the long term, and for us to be able to ensure our profits. Basically, he's saying the games are coming, and regardless of what anybody thinks about what they've sold in the first few months, they're going to push it. Not only so that the people that buy it have a good experience over the next few years, but so that they can profit from it. They're not ready to cut it loose and call it a failure. They want to make money on it, and the only way to do that is by bringing more games. And apparently, those games are on the way.
You had me excited there for a second, Wes. I thought you were saying that he commented on our video, Sony Interactive comment. I was like, oh my god,
he did. Jim Ryan's totally watching this right now.
He's just chilling out there watching us. Wow, what's up?
What's up, Jim Ryan? You want to come on, do On Location? Could you imagine you have Jim Ryan On Location? Like that guy.
Yeah, that would be cool.
He'd get motion sick in 5 minutes.
I would love to have Carmack and some walkabout mini golf. It's going to happen, Wes.
We're going to do it before it's all said and done.
Although when that happens, when we confirm it, I'm going to go in there and practice a lot because I'm not going in there and playing like I did last time in front of Carmack. I'm not. It's not happening.
By the way, I'm there right now.
Oh, I know. I noticed that. I was like, what is that background when Wes went before the show? And then I noticed the turtle swimming around, and then I was like, oh my god, that's Atlantis. Cool.
The only problem is it's like a 30-minute clip, and I don't know what happens when the clip runs out. I always like run with 2-hour clips and stuff. So I don't know if it's going to just go black or if it's going to.
What do you have it on?
It's on my NVIDIA broadcast.
See, I know like for mine, for whatever I do, usually I have it on loop or something, or some kind of.
I don't think there's a setting for it. Let me see.
You might have to just manually look and just drag it back every so often.
Yeah, I can do that.
If I look over and I see a blank screen, I'll try to on the sly. We don't want the audience to know what's happening behind the scenes. Oh shit, they're right there. Damn it.
So what do you think we're gonna? All right, let's do this. Let's play Wishlist time. I know it's a bit cliche, and every channel on YouTube's already done it, but I don't think I've asked you what you're hoping for. If you could pick one or two things that get announced this week in the Sony showcase, what would it be?
I would love a Bloodborne remaster. This is flat, of course, but I'd love it in VR as well. Or a Bloodborne 2, but I don't know why they would do a Bloodborne 2, but I would love a remaster or remake of that for that. But I'd also, I'd love to hear Astrobot or either an Astrobot 2 come into VR. Actually, that's what I would love. I love the first one. I would love a remake or a PlayStation 5 VR2 version as well, but I want a new one. I want a new adventure. So
I think we're going to get both. And I don't know if they'll like have a hard release like announcement this week, like as far as when we can expect it. But I 100% believe that Japan Studios or I guess is it even it's Team Asana now. It's not even Japan Studio anymore. But Team Asobi. But I think that they are definitely working on Astrobot hybrid game. I think it's going to be flat and VR, and I think we could possibly see the first glimpse of that this week. And I think that they're also going to bring the original over and kind of update it for Sense controllers and all the new stuff. So, so that kind of dovetails into what my big hope is that I want, for one, I hope that we get a lot of news regarding PSVR 1 upgrades from Sony first-party titles that are still among my very favorite titles in VR. I want to play them on my new headset with all my new bells and whistles.
Right. Do you think there's any chance that we get any, like Wolfie says, if they announce Just Cause VR, I'll go out and get a PlayStation VR2 the next day. Now, obviously, I don't think that, but there's system sellers, right? Do you think we get a system seller, announcement, like a AAA game 100%. That we just didn't think of, like Kill It Sam says, The Last of Us VR? Or, I mean, that would be a very good, like, I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be, with all the Last of Us hype, I mean, that would be a good one, wouldn't it?
That would be a great one. I would love the original Last of Us to be kind of remade for VR. Even something just a whole new game in that universe would be amazing. Like it's the environments and the storytelling is what makes that awesome. If there was a whole new one, hybrid game, sign me up. What if it's The Last of Us 3 and it has VR support?
That would be super cool. And then somehow they bring in Rick Grimes and somehow he just kind of slides in. That'd be cool. I don't know.
I don't think they're going to stack up AAA banger after AAA banger and blow their load all at once. I mean, they do still have a holiday sales season that they have to build hype for. But I do think they're going to give us a glimpse into what's coming. Hopefully we'll get like a sizzle reel with some clips and stuff in it. I do think there will be AAA bangers. There will be at least one. There might be 2 or 3 AAA VR games that get announced this week. And it could be anything. It could be The Last of Us. It could be God of War. I think God of War would do very well in VR. But we will see a system seller, maybe even Half-Life Alyx. Ooh. How cool would it be to have a Half-Life Alyx that's enhanced for PSVR 2?
That would be amazing. You know what's funny about Half-Life Alyx? I was just talking to a customer the other day that he hadn't done too much VR. He said the most VR he played was a friend is like a race car sim driver. And so he'd played Quest 2 of that, and he had played the original PlayStation VR 1. And I was talking about the PlayStation VR 2 and was just asking him, you know, if he'd played things. And I had totally lost where I was going with that story. But yeah, no, it just, which game were we just talking about, Wes?
Talking about Half-Life Alyx.
Oh, yeah. So he says, man, I just would love, like I started talking about VR mods. So I just would love Half-Life 2 and in VR. I said, dude, the mod's out there. And I started explaining it to him. And then I asked him if he had tried Half-Life Alyx. He said, what's that? And I was like, dude, like there's a fucking prequel to Half-Life 2. You don't even know about it? So I felt like I did the dude a solid. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. What way to evangelize VR? This is what we do, one person at a time. And I got to say, Ruuts, 4 years in, we're making a little headway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, according to this article, VR is about to get hot in the next few weeks. So hopefully,
that's right. I mean, we know all the stuff that's coming. There's a Meta showcase coming. There's an Apple headset announcement coming. That's going to drum up a lot of interest. There's Summer Games Fest, a Future Games Show. There's an Upload VR showcase, which is, you know, we'll see how that goes. But
Apple,
yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, the Apple stuff, there's a lot. I mean, Valve's hiring people now for their, quote, next-gen Valve Index products. I mean, it's all happening, man. It's all happening right now, and it's going to be a hell of a ride. I mean, AWE is in 2 weeks. I mean, it's going to be an excellent time. We're literally on our last days of the quiet times, and everything's about to finally get underway. What about BioShock, Ruuts? What do we finally get our BioShock VR game this week?
Well, that would be my very first BioShock game. That'd be cool. Are you talking about like a new, one of its own, or a remake?
Either or, man. Like the whole concept of BioShock seems like it was made for VR. It's a first person game that you know you can see your hands, and what you use your hands in game a lot, and you have like supernatural powers and stuff, but the way that you give them you gain powers and abilities is by injecting your arm with like these syringes. So you'll inject your arm with like a glowing blue thing, and now all of a sudden you've got lightning power from your fingertips. It just seems like something that was made with VR in mind, although it's like a 15-20-year-old game at this point.
Yeah, what if Meta's getting ready to come out with San Andreas, and then PlayStation drops GTA 5 with online, That'd be cool.
The singularity roots.
Yeah.
It'd be over at that point.
Yeah.
Although we did hear some news from Take-Two Interactive this past week. It seems highly likely that in fiscal year 25 is when GTA 6 is going to launch, and other games as well. We might even get a new Red Dead then, because they're expecting their
Was it $8 billion, right?
yeah, $8 billion. That's right,
Jesus.
$8 billion in that fiscal year.
That's crazy, right? I was reading that
pretty
article as
telling.
well. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm ready for a new GTA. I'm ready for a new Red Dead. Although I need to finish it. I got to Cuba, and then I was like, man, I feel like the story's just, it's going by so fast, Wes. I'm like reluctant. Went back to the old West and was just kind of riding around nostalgia wise, checking out the city. But I need that. That game is one of the best games I've played in VR, and I need to finish it before the mod fully breaks. I need your help, Wes. Isn't there a way to move the game over into the new, like there's a way to move it into the new engine, right? For Red Dead? Like there was a workaround that somebody made that you could take the old
you're
mod
talking about
and
the Luke Ross, the new Luke Ross. Yeah, there's it's on the Flat to VR Discord.
If you could get that for me, because I really want to finish this game, and I would love to play it in the because right now it's like I can play it, but it's in a state that if I do anything outside the norm, it crashes. Like I can't even open the settings. So, yeah.
James says I want Insomniac's Resistance VR. Yeah, man. There's so many good possibilities with Insomniac. I do think that we will get an announcement of an Insomniac VR game. I happen to believe personally that they're probably working on multiple VR games because it's a huge studio that works on multiple games at a time. And I think you're right, Roots. I think we could get our Stormland remastered that was rumored almost exactly a year ago to the day. We started hearing rumors about that.
That would be cool with haptics, the adaptive triggers, and hopefully an updated story.
Could you imagine, man, surfing around on those waves? You run into those electric things. Imagine what that would feel like on your face doing that in a PSVR 2.
That would be amazing. Although this is the thing. As amazing as the head haptics are in some games, I feel like most games don't utilize it. I'd say there's probably like 5% of games are really using that head haptics like it should be, right?
Like Red Matter 2. That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Show Futuristic in the chat says, I wouldn't be surprised if Insomniac ported their old VR games but majorly upgraded. That would be great. The thing is, we don't know how many of those IPs are in the Insomniac stable and how many of them are in the Oculus stable, because Meta funded those games. But it would be great, man, if we got a sequel to Edge of Nowhere would be cool, right? Or something along those lines. I would say a remake, but they would really have to remake it. The controls are a little bit dated in that game. But man, they could upgrade that or bring a sequel. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I had Dee into Edge of Nowhere the other day. She was blown away.
Yeah, she was talking about that on the Q2C this past Thursday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're going to probably get an Insomniac VR game announcement this week. Hopefully, we're going to get some announcements of PSVR 1 games that are upgraded for PSVR 2. We'll probably get updates on stuff we already know about, like Beat Saber, Among Us.
Do we get a sequel to Beat Saber? That's the question.
Dude, Beat Saber's co-founder and CEO Yaroslav Beck resigned this week.
Ooh, maybe
he's not.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I think they're probably going to. The way it sounded is like they're probably giving him a promotion into the Meta hierarchy. It's the way it sounded, even though they didn't announce that yet. Let's see what else. Like I said, maybe we get Half-Life Alyx news this week. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And typically we're sitting here trying to temper expectations because we always do the same thing, Roots. Every time, every one of these showcases, we let the hype train go out of control, and we're always disappointed. Even the great ones, we're disappointed because we expect so much more. But I kind of feel like there's cause to be excited with this one, and I don't really want to pump the brakes too much here. I think the sky's the limit this week.
Yeah, we're only a few days away from knowing, right?
That's right. That's right. I can't wait. We're going to be live on PSVR Without Parole, live reacting to it. It is West Day, so we're going to be going live about 30 minutes before showtime and staying on for quite some time afterwards. So there's a link in the description down below if you want to tune in for that. I think Eric said he might be live reacting to it as well on Q2C, and that's linked below as well. And it's fun, Roots. It's going to be like a VR holiday this week and next week and the week after and the week after that. We're getting it all at once. You know who loves to get it all at once?
My mom!
Oh, she does.
Anyway, we have got a fucking banger of a show lined up today. Roots, I think we've got more stuff in the reminders than we do in the whole rest of the show.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's crazy, right?
It is kind of crazy, and we're going to try to push through it kind of quick, but we can't even get started on any of that until we say hello to our friends in chat. Like D1360VR is here. He says hype in moderation. Yeah, we try to keep our hype levels in check, but I just can't help it this week. I'm so excited. I think we're going to get multiple AAA VR games announced this week, and that's what we're here for, right? It's what we want, AAA VR games.
I think we seriously need to tamper the hype the most we've ever done, because that'll be the time that it's like crazy. We're like, we don't expect it, and it's like 5 AAA games, like, oh my god, it's Destiny 3 in VR, D's freaking out. WoW comes to World of Warcraft comes to VR. Roots' life is now over. That's all
Jumping
I'm playing.
Flash. That's what I want, Roots. I want Jumping Flash VR.
What is that? I don't remember Jumping Flash. Was that a
Jumping Flash was a PSVR or a PlayStation 1 game where it's just like, it's like you're on acid, man. You're a mechanical robot rabbit that can jump like super high in the air.
Okay.
And like it was a flat screen game in PS1 times, but you would get vertigo playing this game because you would jump so high in the air and then come back down.
Qbert VR. I want that.
There you go.
That'd be cool.
Twisted Metal VR.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Eric's in the chat. He says VR's dead.
Oh shit! True. Never mind. The show's over. VR's dead. What are we doing, man? Let's go talk some fly games.
It's undead. That's right. PSVR 2 is undead. There's so many zombie games, Roots.
Somebody said Undead Citadel was on the store today on PlayStation VR 2 store. Is that true?
It is. It's launching on Steam in 2 weeks.
Wow. It's crazy.
Yeah. Finally, right?
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I thought about putting it in headlines, but we've talked about Undead Citadel so many times. I was like, what else are we going to say about it?
It's out.
It's coming on June 8th, everyone. Yeah. So we'll talk about it then. Bacardi B is here. Virtual Slayer Cat is here. Show Futuristic is here. Time to play VR. Mepper. I always mispronounce this name. Philozix. What's up, Philozix?
I think you did it.
66.
That was it. You did it right.
Boognish 66 says, "What the bat too."
Oh, I'm crossing my fingers for that Boognish as well as Beat Saber 2. And I only for Mash's reaction. That's what I'm excited about.
Janesse Qua is here. I think that's why Yara saw Beck step down, by the way. I think it was because he couldn't win Eric's love, so he just gave up.
He was like, I'm done listening to Mash Daddy Cool trash my game. I'm out. Fuck this. See, Eric, you did it.
Wolveraza is here. What's up, Wolvie? Flame Hat, the Game Cat. We were shooting some bad guys with Flame Hat earlier today in D-Day Enhanced.
Nice.
Good to see you here. Lesser Logic is here as well. Let's see here. I think we already said hello to Mepper. Got VR Legs. Guido's here. Mateo 311. What's up? Mateo, good to see you. Ryan Brannon VR is here. James is here. Killa Sam as well.
He wants to kill
Techno
Sam wants to
Glitch.
know how can they make the Beat Saber better on PlayStation VR 2?
Haptics. You can feel it in your hands and in your face.
Oh yeah, you know who loves to feel it in their face, Wes?
My mom.
and their hands.
Yeah, and their hands. Yeah, what's up, Tack? I didn't mean to cut off your introduction.
What's up, Techno Glitch? What's up, Mickey Barrios? Samson 143 VR and Ryan Brandon. By the way, we lost a patron last week. We were talking about this on Wednesday,
What?
as happens time to time. Times are tough. Sometimes
Sure.
people have to unsubscribe, but we have 2 new ones since Wednesday. Ryan Brandon VR and Samson 143. Thank you
Nice.
for joining the ranks. We appreciate your support.
Yeah, and Samson, thanks for coming by my stream last time. My last stream for the first time. I think it was the last stream.
Germ VR Fair is here. What's up? Wish there was a way I could just cross names off that I've already said hello to. Michelle B is here.
You need Chat GPT for that, Wes.
You're right. Chat GPT already has the answer. It's just waiting on me to ask the question.
That's right. Just have to ask it right 7 times, and then it'll give you the right one finally.
Traveling Man 3775 is here. Virtual Slayer Cat as well. Not Sure Brondo is with us. Midlife Kid here as well. Justin, just living 00. What's up?
I'm just living
J
too.
Devil's here. J Devil wants you to share some of your acid roots.
That's some of my acid?
Acid, yeah.
I don't have any acid. I got some Colorado time. Sure, you can come on over.
Chaos is present. What's up, Chaos? Matt and Kuda here as well. Q Creator. There you are, Roots. You're in the chat too. Here's here. Said the stranger should have way more than 3K. Blows my mind every time. Hey, look, bro. We don't do any dirty tricks around here. Our 3K are real. People who show up and watch the videos. We don't play any of these algorithm games to try to inflate our numbers to make it seem like we have more influence than we do. But I'm happy. I'm happy we did hit 3K this week, and I'm happy with the way we've done it. It's taken longer, Roots, but you know I tune in to streams every day, 10K subs, 20K subs, and people aren't showing up for those streams like they show up for our streams. So, I mean, we got 61 in chat right now. We're going live 3 hours late. Still got 60 in the chat. So yeah, what you see is what you get with us. And I'm happy that we've decided just to kind of grind it out and be all natural, so to speak.
Yeah, best community in VR. I like that. Au natural makes me think of what's his name from Eureka. I don't know if you ever seen that show. Good show.
Nope. No, you told me to watch it though.
It's amazing. It's one of my favorite shows.
I was about to say we've never had any bots, but I mean Sexbot used to be pretty active viewer.
Yeah, I'm kind of put off actually. What happened to Sexbot? He was there like almost every week, and then all of a sudden, I mean, I guess us banning it every week probably. They get tired of that. Hurts feelings.
Reporting it 500 times. Eventually, something happened with it.
Yep. Yeah. Finally.
I think that's everyone, unless some people slipped in after I started scrolling. If I miss you, I apologize. Rogue TR, for example, is here. If I miss you, I apologize. Hello. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us tonight. I promise we have got an awesome show lined up for you, Roots. Let's get it going.
Frequency and glide beyond extending on all sides, creation in my eyes. We are too young, too innocent to see what is right before our eyes. Nothing before, nothing will end. We never truly die. Like a spark of energy cries for life and ignites. One day we'll realize that all worlds must collide.
After 4 years in development, Firmament launched onto Steam and Steam VR this past Thursday. Coming soon to or coming sometime to PlayStation VR2 as well. But this is a game I wanted to kind of give impressions on Friday, but we had some complications, so to speak. So we went on Friday, and part of the intro was me explaining why we weren't giving impressions then, and giving a few ideas that I had with my limited time in the game at that point. And I'm happy to report here, Ruuts, that pretty much everything that I assumed on Friday was incorrect. Like everything that I said was wrong. Like everything.
As far as performance wise and stuff?
No, everything period. Like when I said, well, let's just go ahead and get into it, and let's talk a little bit about my time in Firmament. So when Firmament launched, we got keys pretty much immediately. I think we got them maybe an hour before it hit the store, and I went in on my go-to PSVR headset, which is my HP Reverb G2, and I had low expectations at that point because I went in, I think it was Thursday evening was actually when I went in. And by that time, a lot of people had given some impressions. A lot of people said that the performance was terrible and that the VR implementation wasn't all that great. And there was a bunch of negative stuff out there. So I had pretty low expectations. So when I booted the game up and was in the menu screen and turned my head and got heavy reprojection on the menu screen, it just basically to me confirmed everything that I had read about the game already. And at that point, I was just looking for things to be wrong with it. I went in and played the game. It wasn't unplayable, but it was very shaky. It seemed like the only kind of VR implementation or VR consideration for the game was that the adjunct, which is the device that you use to interact with things. That's it's very VR, but not much else besides that. I mean, there was not a whole lot of stuff you can interact with in the game. But my impressions were that when I got a handle on the performance, that we would see a typical cyan puzzle game here. And I don't think this is a typical cyan game at all, Ruuts. Like I played through. Well, I guess I should say that after our show on Friday, on Saturday, I went and I tried to play the game again in my Oculus Rift S, and the game ran great in my Rift S. Now, with that said, the game has had an update since my initial my initial session, so I don't know how much of the improvement has to do with being on Rift S and how much of it has to do with the update. But I can tell you, Ruuts, when I went back in it on Saturday, I cranked the graphics up to epic presets and it ran smooth.
And you went into it with on Saturday with Rift S, correct?
With Rift S, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, so I went into it as well earlier today, and I went into it originally on Epic, and then I don't know, did you use the DLSS or no?
I didn't even know. I didn't see an option for it.
Is there an
option in game to use
it was under there, but I don't know what it was under. It was under a weird name, and I clicked on it, and I was like, oh shit, there's DLSS. So I used it. it ran great and everything looked good, especially on the DLS for me. Not epic without the DLS as much, but I was also on the Quest 2, and I might have had just a little bit more with the 90 hertz and the more higher resolution. But it was like even with the DLSS, when I noticed it seemed like the anti-aliasing was a little weird, specifically with the reflections. And I don't know if it was just mine, or it was weird. But other than that, I thought the glove thing was really cool. So I agree with you. I did, and maybe it's just because we just came out of that Red Matter 2, where you can literally almost interact with every single thing. Yeah. Like I was walking around that beginning area trying to just grab any switch. There's so many switches and different things, right? And you can't interact with anything. And so I saw, and somebody was commenting and they said, man, they spent $4 million on this. They got $4 million funding for VR, and it's like the bare minimum implementation of VR. And I would say, now, of course, I've only been in it for 20 minutes, but outside that badass glove thing and the way that you use that, I didn't see any other implementation of VR outside of being in the game. Did you? Or, I mean, maybe you went further in than I did.
Yes and no. Now, to call this kind of a VR version of a flat game, I could see why some people would say that. This certainly isn't a modern VR game. Like your hands pass through everything. There's not a whole lot of stuff to interact with. But I can see where they took VR into consideration in terms of the type of puzzles that the game gives you. And this is what I meant earlier when I said this is not your typical Cyan game. And I'm not saying that this is even necessarily a good thing, but I've played through a significant amount of this game now, and there are no brain bending puzzles in this. This isn't the type of thing where you're looking for obscure clues and trying to figure out what you're supposed to do. I never once had to stop and think about what I was supposed to do. It was always obvious what I was supposed to do. The whole issue here with this game, the whole thing you're trying to do is figure out how to do what you need to do. And that's the biggest difference. These puzzles, Ruuts, they're all physical, logic-based puzzles. You got to get from A to B. How do you get over there? It's all that type of stuff. So it's all manipulating objects. It reminds me of one of those slide puzzles with the tiles in it, where you have to move one tile over so that you can move another one down and then move another one around. You know what I'm talking about? All the puzzles are this sort of thing. And I think the reason why they did that is because they wanted to make something that's more of a VR game, something that you're interacting with. And even though you're not interacting with stuff with your hands, you're using your adjunct to do it. I can see where VR was taken into consideration just solely in the way that they've designed the puzzles in this game. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I like the old school Cyan type or Cyan type of puzzles where everything's kind of cerebral and you have to really work through it mentally to figure out what you're supposed to do. The way these puzzles work, Ruuts, is it's just a lot of backtracking, a lot of moving forward, moving one step backwards to take two steps forward type of things, running back and forth, climbing up and down the same ladder 50 fucking times. A lot of this type of stuff. I would say it's okay. I have a feeling that you would like a MASH, you might like these type of puzzles a little bit more because, again, it's all logic-based stuff, the type of thing that you like in VR.
That's true. I do like those puzzles better, and it's ironic that you say that because Eric said, "Are you sure it's not 4 months in development instead of 4 years?" How ironic would it be if Eric went into this game and he actually really dug it? Like it would just turn out to be his jam after
he's just salty because he broke his copy and he can't play it.
Well, I want to say something. This is a public service announcement. Yeah, it's directed right at you, Eric. I think it was the Chinese the Chinese software from one of your headsets that's been blocking you from playing all sorts of games, you need to wipe your hard drive, and it'll solve it all. Just start it. Just start fresh, bro. You'll be good to go.
It's funny that you mentioned that because one of the things that I really like about this, and one of the things that makes this very much a Cyan game, is the kind of lore and backstory.
Mm.
You're playing as what they call a keeper. Your job is to keep and maintain the firmament, which is oddly not populated. You're the only one there, mysteriously. That's part of the Cyan gameplay loop, is you got to kind of work the mystery out. But as you kind of make your way through the levels, you'll find a few books to read. You don't have to read them, but of course I did, Roots. Of course I read the books. One of the books that I came upon was kind of like a keeper's textbook. You can tell that this is a kind of literature that was given to the keepers in training to kind of tell them the history of their position and what they're doing. And if you read through the keeper's book, it very much reads like socialist propaganda. Like it tells the story of the firmament when it was once this socialist utopia where everyone's working for the greater good. And then as the time goes on, capitalist ideas work their way in and destroys the foundation of everything, and nearly destroys society by creating income inequality and social classes. And then at the end, socialism, of course, wins out. They return to the old ways.
Thank God.
And they live happily ever after. That's the backstory of the game. But I could see why the Chinese software might not want to delve into these topics too deeply.
Like, no, you're not playing that game. Sorry. How crazy, right? I don't know.
Oh, it's great, man, because at first when I first picked it up, I was like, oh God, not another one of these games trying to put their political theory into the player's head. But as time goes on, you realize that's not what's happening here at all. The line gets blurred through your character as to which side you're on in that whole thing, and it isn't exactly obvious at this point which side is supposed to be the quote good side and which side's supposed to be the evil side.
That's kind of like it's kind of like real life. It's kind of because nobody knows what the evil side. Everybody thinks they're on the good side.
That's right.
And maybe that's kind of true. Like there's a little bit of good, and I mean there's good and bad to everything, right?
That's right. Well, I mean, I don't want to delve too deeply into political theory or social theory or anything. But the socialist utopia is that's the dream, right? If that would work, that would be amazing, right?
That's what Star Trek is based on. And if you could get a Star Trek, society to really work, it absolutely would be amazing. It's just it never works out that way. There's always people that end up, at the top, screwing everybody.
Right.
And they're
that exactly is what this kind of narrative is delving into, is the people at the top kind of manipulating, lying, taking advantage, and not allowing anything to work for anybody other than themselves. That's a very real thing in today's world, right?
I kind of feel like that's the truth in both scenarios. The people at the top are screwing everybody in the socialistic society and the capitalistic society. They just hide it a little bit better in the capitalistic.
So Mepper asks, socialism wins out and then everyone dies off. Not exactly, not clear. And what I just went through was a kind of a brief summary of some of the backstory. There's a lot more to it, of course. The other keepers, they're asleep.
Oh.
And I don't know exactly yet what that means, if they're hibernating or if this is like a reincarnation thing where they like put them to sleep. Yeah, I haven't gotten far along enough to kind of work that part out yet, but the other keepers are asleep. So
let me ask you this. What do you think Scion's take is going to be on this game, because he kind of falls in the category even more so than you, where he wants the intelligent puzzles versus the logic ones, right?
Yeah, I think that Scion, I think he's going to dig it. You know, Scion's a super fan of the Cyan games, and there's a lot of the telltale signs here with the beautiful world, the realm jumping, you know, again the complex backstory. All of this stuff are hallmarks of Cyan games. I don't think he's going to be the biggest fans of the puzzles, but they're not super simple or anything. Um, I mean, they're easy to work out what you're supposed to do, but it's not always obvious how you're supposed to do it.
Mm.
And it takes a lot of fiddling around and kind of playing with things sometimes to kind of see the way forward. So I think he'll like it. I don't think it's going to be overwhelmingly positive. I think he's going to have the same kind of reaction to it that I did. But for what it's worth, I want to go back in it. I want to keep going. It is fun. It's just different. It's not what I was expecting in terms of how the game plays.
Let me ask you this. People love a Wes puzzle stream. Is there a possibility that the community sees Wes stream this game?
If it'll run smoothly while I capture it, sure. Absolutely. You know, one of the reasons why I think that maybe the patch had something to do with the performance is because for me, even on epic settings, it was still kind of soft. You know, we've talked about some of these PSVR 2 titles and how some of them, even though they're graphically amazing, when you look out into the distance, they kind of have this softness to it. The same thing here. Now, this could be because I'm on, you know, a 3-year-old headset with a pretty low res display in it. Or it could be that they nerfed their graphics settings in a patch so that it really doesn't push it all the way.
That's more likely.
And, yeah. Did you notice that it was a little soft?
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't see anything to compare it to. And like I said, I was kind of dealing with weirdness with anti-aliasing. That's what I noticed the most in the reflections, and was just like,
Yeah.
I mean, it really looked really good. I just, you know, I mean, I got a 3080 Ti, man. Like there really should be nothing I shouldn't be able to throw at this thing and
Right.
have it run, as long as I'm not getting ridiculous and trying to, you know, do a bunch of weird stuff. But
I think that's a bug. There's a bug with the shadows and reflections in this game, and it's not super noticeable, but it is there. Like you can see it and you can tell.
yeah, so hopefully they fix it. But you know, I mean, I was really impressed with just the way that thing, whatever, the glove worked, and the way you grabbed it and then you connected it and kind of twisted it, and like it would make things different, you know, turn on or off or bridge go down, and I just thought it was cool.
Yeah, that whole first level is built all around that thing. You know, moving that tram down the track and getting it to and just making it over to the other side. And you come into a lot of places where you can control the thing, but the controls aren't always different. So you have to run back to the first one that gives you options that the second one doesn't give you. And pro tip, there is an option in the gameplay options to auto climb ladders.
I saw that.
Absolutely. Turn that shit on. You're not going to want to keep climbing up and down these ladders. The climbing's janky already, and you have to do it a lot. So I would just say, after you've done it a few times, go into the settings, turn on the auto climb. And when you do that, as soon as you touch the first rung, bam, you're teleported to the top.
That's my point about games that, like, say Asgard's Wrath or whatever it is, any game where you're constantly slicing and dicing for hours on end. They need to have an option for the same thing, for button push. Because there's going to be people like myself that doesn't want to be swinging my arm around for 5 hours straight as I'm playing a game. You know, not everything needs to be a sim. You know what I mean? Like, the ultimate sim is life, and I walk around swinging things around all day long. I don't need to do it in every single game I play. You know, like, I just think at some point that should be a priority.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm enjoying my time in the game so far. It isn't exactly what I expected. I think some people are going to like it more than typical Cyan games, and others are not going to like it as much because of the way the puzzles work. But the story has me. The environments are beautiful. It isn't super VRAF, but as you continue on in the game and you operate more of the machinery, it becomes a bit more interactive. So um, that's always cool. That's always nice. And yeah, hopefully we'll cover this game again really soon and give some deeper thoughts on it. But so far so good. I'm glad that I was wrong about pretty much everything I said on Friday. And at the very least, the game is playable for people in VR, or at least most of us. Unless you're playing on G2, then you're fucked.
Yeah, or, I don't know. Is there anything that's that high res, right? I'm kind of screwed.
Yeah, I mean it was wigging out in the menu like immediately. I mean it was bad. And for what it's worth, it didn't run perfectly for me on Rift S. There are areas in the games where the frame rate drops and you can tell it, but typically you're not hanging out in those areas for a long time anyway. You just move on to the next place and it clears right up.
Are you gonna play it flat? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so that is Firmament. Again, if you want to get further impressions as we move along, or maybe even a gameplay stream, you know what to do. Subscribe, ring the bell. We will be revisiting this one at some point.
Yeah, put in the comments, Wes, we want to see you stream this.
I thought about it, bro. And I could start now on the second biome. Now that I've got all of the original stuff out of the way, we can move on to the next one and show people a good slice of the meat of the game rather than going through the part where we're all just learning what's going on and how to operate.
Hey, you mean like everybody else's video in stream?
Like everybody else's video, exactly.
Yeah.
Ooh. And we'll do like everyone else, Roots. And now I'm going to go replay the first 3 hours of the puzzle game where I already know all the answers to the puzzles.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And then you should put a picture of yourself on the thumbnail going like this.
Yeah, I think you're right. Gold, Jerry, gold.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that before we got into the headlines, of which we have a few. VR adventure game T for God launching July 19th on PC VR and Quest 2. This from Arthans VR. Quest 2 players should be familiar with this title, T for God, as it has generated some discussion online with its interesting movement mechanics. Using a movement which the developer called Impossible Spaces with procedural generation, the game can allow players infinite movement within the confine of their room space area. The game will also be offering 3 types of gameplay under such movement: a relaxing long walk, an intense arcade shooter, or a roguelike shooter explorer. Personal tragedies tend to be meaningless against the time, but once in a while, one person may start a fire that can change the fate of the whole universe. A man who lost his family, who holds God Emperor accountable for their death, seeking answers and vengeance, embarks onto his last journey to the place no human has ever left alive, where God Emperor is believed to reside. Developed by indie developer Void Room, T for God will be releasing on 19th of July onto Steam for PC VR and Quest platform for Quest 2. A playable demo is available on these 2 platforms. right now. So here we have T for God Roots. This is a game that I guess first gained notoriety through side quests and then later on through App Lab. I like the concept here. This is basically taking what Eye of the Temple did and making it into a sci-fi shooter, which is a little bit more down my alley. Although I love Eye of the Temple, I like the idea. This seems like it could be a pretty cool room scale shooter.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to see more of these, right? I mean, how cool would it be if
Absolutely.
the norm is just, you just draw your space and you walk around your space and there is no turning because you're literally, at least with the joysticks, right? So it's just cool.
But I want to feel like I have a heavy Batman belt on and I'm sliding my feet across a giant disc.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do then?
I
Like
think
if this game just has me walking around, I don't need that.
Yeah, I think you're screwed, Wes. I think you just need to just accept that.
Mac Manus 1 says, I knew God was British. You called it,
Me
bro.
too.
Wes, we want to see you stream this. I wonder if he's talking about
Firmament. He was. He
for God or
absolutely came
Firmament.
in when Firmament was on. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like streaming puzzle games. It puts pressure on Roots when you're streaming a puzzle game. You have to mind your P's and Q's and be on your A game.
I don't like it because it puts pressure on you and you gotta mind your P's and Q's and you have to be on your A game. The same reason
That's
you
right.
like it, I don't like it, Wes.
Anyway, yeah, T for God is kind of a surprise, man. It's been in development for a long time, but I mean, I really hadn't heard much about this game, in the development for quite a while. I thought it might be stuck in development hell, but apparently it must be ready to go. What do you think, man? Do you want to? They said 3 gameplay modes. You could either have like the straightforward shooter, the roguelike shooter explorer, or the casual calm walk. I think that one sounds the best to me. What about you?
Yeah, what's on that walk? It's like a walking sim, right? Where am I walking?
Right.
And what am I going to be doing? Where am I going? If I'm just walking down to the corner store, I don't think that's much of an adventure. But
Is it a walking sim though? If you're actually walking, it's just walking at that point, isn't it?
I don't know. Like simulators in general, the whole concept is it's weird to me. Like at some point, I agree. I think it's real life at that point. You're not simulating it. But at some point, why do we want to simulate everything we do in real life anyway? That was the gimmick. Okay, can we get to a point where we can feel like we're really climbing a ladder, but we're not climbing a ladder? Okay, we've done it. So do we need to really climb that ladder again? Because I've climbed a bunch of ladders in VR. I'm kind of over it, as a gimmick anyway. So I think that's where that one guy was telling me that one guy was talking about that with the VR that I talked about this week, he feels like VR mostly is still a gimmick, and in some ways it is, and then we kind of need to get away from that. We don't need to simulate everything. So
Agreed. Good game though. In the chat says one of the best games I've ever played. Totally immersive. Now that's cool to hear. Roots.
T for
I think
God?
we might need to check. Yeah, T for God.
wow. Oh, now you
I heard
got
a lot
me.
of that back in the day. I've heard a lot of that back in the day. Like I think GT was particularly impressed with the early demo for this game, if I remember correctly. So
Virtual Slayer Cat says we are already in the simulation roots, and I would say, on some levels, I kind of feel like maybe we are. There's some
absolutely.
weird stuff. So
absolutely. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot to say about this game other than it looks really cool. It's out in a few weeks, and depending on the release schedule, I think this might be one that we want to cover further as launch day draws nigh.
absolutely.
Major update expands VR's Halo, quote, end quote. Guardians Frontline. This from mixednews.com. Publisher Fast Travel Games is releasing a new update for the mix of real-time strategy and first-person action, Guardians Frontline. The extensive expansion brings new weapons, vehicles, units, and more options for the map editor to the VR game. The vehicles and tech update will be available for free for MetaQuest 2 and Steam VR from May 17th, which was 4 days ago. According to the developers, the expansion will overhaul the way players manage units and maneuver on the battlefield. The following innovations are supposed to ensure this. New weapons, like the medic gun, is supposed to simultaneously drain life energy from enemies and heal your own units. New vehicles, like a hover bike and a 2-seater tank, are now new to the game. Support. Explosive arrows, teleport arrows, piercing bullets, repair drones, and smart triggers can now be unlocked through the tech tree. There's a lava biome, there's new avatars, there's more tools for the map editor, and there's improved matchmaking and multiplayer, which allows you to now have a special friends list that ensures shorter waiting times, and the new last played list shows all the players that you've played with recently. Guardians Frontline is available for MetaQuest 2 and Steam VR, costs just under $25 US. In our test, not our test, but their test, the mixture of Halo and StarCraft convinced with exciting perspective changes and challenging battles in VR. Ruuts is a title we've got some experience with. We played a very early version of this when it first started development. We played it a little bit a couple months ago when it launched into full release on both Steam and Quest 2. And now here we are just a couple months later, and this game is getting a major update. And I got to say, man, this stuff looks cool. It was already a good game. It looks like it's a lot better now.
Yeah, definitely looks even better than it was before. Dr. Dance wants to know, is this something similar to Farpoint, right?
It looks like Farpoint. It's similar in the aspect that some of the environments are similar and some of the enemies look similar. The gameplay, the way the game is structured is very different. You know, Farpoint is a heavily story-driven linear shooter. This kind of puts you in to an enclosed map and kind of has you defending points in the map. So it is a bit different, but I can see where someone would draw those similarities.
Yeah, definitely cool. Definitely worth checking out, right? It was before. There's a lot of different stuff there. You got a hover bike, Wes.
Medic gun Ruuts.
Yeah, that's what I think sounded cool, because it actually does damage and drains life to give them to your friends who doesn't want to drain
like Evasion.
Life. Yeah,
it's like Evasion with the healing gun, right?
Yeah, Evasion I still think that's a good game.
Me too. And then a 2-seater tank, Ruuts. We can get in a tank together and tear some shit up.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah,
it's VR's Halo.
That's right. Halo with guns. Oh, wait
yes,
a minute.
Halo. It's Halo with guns. That's right.
Oh, it looks cool, man. There's a whole new environment. A bunch of new weapons, avatars. It looks like a polished VR game now, which is the farthest thing from what it initially was when we first checked it out.
It was so rough. It seemed like an App Lab game. Like all the App Lab shitty games that we give shit to. This came so far, and it's actually good. So.
Yeah, co-op. There's co-op here too, and then that's something that we often ask these games for that we don't always get. This game built around co-op, so super awesome.
Yeah.
Kudos to Fast Travel Games for undoubtedly leaving their mark on this game and making it something that players love and continue to come back to.
Yep.
If you like shooters with interesting VR mechanics, adrenaline-fueled action, and thoughtful gunplay, we have a great game for you. Dead Hook is an explosive mix of roguelike and shooter genre with brutal combat and captivating storytelling. The game is inspired by classic arena shooters. Let's dive into the core gameplay loop. Having prepared for the run on your spaceship called Raven, you teleport straight to Resurrect, a planet swarming with deadly infernals and anomalies. The enemies are ferocious. They will try to tear you apart, melt you down with projectiles, deal AoE damage, disarm you, kill you from invisibility, and do other dirty tricks. The foes won't let you hide behind cover, resulting in highly dynamic gameplay. Even running on the ground may not be enough for you to survive. Fortunately, you have hooks to soar skyward at lightning speed, maneuver in the air, and pull yourself towards enemies, crushing their bones. To push the infernals back, you will need a weapon. Out of the arsenal of more than 10 distinctive guns, of both Earthern and alien origin, let's start with the timeless classic, a shotgun. Puncher, just like any other weapon in the game, comes in one of 6 rarity levels, which affect its characteristics and alternative fire modes. You can upgrade the rarity of your weapon throughout the run or find a new one in Hollow Burns to adjust your build. By default, Puncher is a powerful shotgun with low accuracy but high damage, a weapon capable of taking down enemies in a few shots in melee. During the course of this run, the player has found an amplifier called Large Shells, which decreases the number of pellets but enhances their damage. Later on, they acquired the Chocobo amplifier to balance out the former by increasing magazine size, removing vertical spread, and, as a result, boosting the effective range of the weapon. As a cherry on top comes another amplifier and weapon upgrade that took the shotgun to the 6th rarity stage. Now it is much easier for the player to kill enemies. Each subsequent hit becomes more powerful, and you can also do this. The shotgun is one of the most conventional classic weapons. Dead Hook has more to offer by focusing on gunplay that is VR at its core. Structurally, the game is divided into different biomes, each of them featuring its unique enemies and bosses. To get to the boss, you need to fight through hordes of infernals, tackle elite enemies, complete special challenges like time trials, and learn story pieces. You can think of Hades, Risk of Rain 2, or Gunfire Reborn as a general example. Each run is unique, as rooms and arenas are procedurally generated from a pool of handcrafted levels, and your build can be adjusted on the fly, whether you want to bombard the foes with raining missiles, or make combo kills with a single well-aimed shot to the head. Dead Hook features a complete storyline. You will embark on a journey to uncover the secrets of Resurrect and AI duality as Adam Stone, a mercenary, smuggler, thief, and devoted husband. We will tell you more about the story in a separate trailer, which is coming soon. There is also an extra immersion toggle in the settings that allows you to minimize game interfaces. Dead Hook is a complex game with high replayability. In this video, we haven't touched on most of its content yet, from other guns and special abilities to constant upgrades and bosses. Dead Hook is coming to MetaQuest headsets on June 29th. Wishlist it now to get notified when the game is out. And join our Discord server to learn more about the story and other cool things we have up our sleeve.
Dead Hook, delayed until June due to, quote, important business reasons. This is from Henry Stockdale at Upload VR. Dead Hook is delayed until June for, quote, important business reasons, despite publisher Joyway saying it's ready for release. Revealed last month, Dead Hook is a new roguelike shooter reminiscent of Doom VFR. A reworked version of the canceled PSVR roguelike Outlier, your goal involves shooting through demon hordes. Previously targeting May 18th, that's now arriving on June 29th. Joyway states unforeseen changes in the meta release calendar as a factor, although it's unclear what this specifically refers to. Alongside a new gameplay trailer, which we just watched, Joyway issued this statement. Despite Dead Hook being ready for release on May 18th, we've decided to postpone the release date to June 29th. due to important business reasons, including unforeseen changes in the meta release calendar. This extra time will be used for extra polish and finishing touches, as well as incorporating content that was planned for after the release. We truly appreciate your understanding and continued support, and we are committed to providing you, the players, with the best possible gaming experience. Dead Hook arrives on MetaQuest 2 and MetaQuest Pro on June 29th. So this is interesting, Ruuts, because this game looks badass. It looks like it's ready, although Eric said he played it fairly recently, and he would be surprised if it was ready. But I tend to believe them here. I think that they're being transparent and honest with us, and they don't want to drop it right now because they don't think as many people will buy it this week as will be buying it 6 weeks from now. The thing is, Ruuts, what happens 6 weeks from now when that meta release calendar changes yet again, and now all of a sudden they're going up against GTA or Splinter Cell or something crazy?
Who knows? Maybe something's being dropped on the 24th, and I don't know. The way that this whole thing is worded it makes me curious. I mean, that's obviously, who knows what the hell is going on. It could be no reason, but it sounds like they don't want to conflict release with something else, and it makes me wonder what's getting ready to be released. You know, I've got an idea. Well, this is the thing. This is May 18th. It was going to be released. This was 6 days before. So that would tell me if that is what they're concerned about. This is a big one, because 6 days after their release, it dies. Something big comes out and it just fades or something. I don't know. It's just very weird.
I've got an idea, and we'll get to that in a moment. A couple people in chat, though, I don't know how serious they are about this, but they're saying it's a Quest 3 game. It don't look like a Quest 3 game, man. It looks like a Quest 2 game to me.
Well, this is the thing. They want to believe that they're going to be announcing the Quest 3 is coming out, and they're trying to, this is another thing that I thought was weird too. They're extra time, they're finishing extra polish, finishing touches and incorporating content that was planned for after the release. Like, they want to have the full product completely finished for something big, maybe a Quest 3. I don't know. There's a lot of conspiracy theory thought in that whole process, but I mean, it definitely is intriguing to think that maybe we do find out that the Quest 3 is coming sooner than we think, or at least announced. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that we could get some news on Quest 3 from the Meta Showcase. It hit the newswire this week that Quest 3 is now showing up in the compatibility options on the Quest Store for pretty much every game. So it just goes to show that Meta's not trying to keep a lid on it. Like, they know the cat's out of the bag with Quest 3, and they're leaning into it, which I think is cool. I think it's a good thing. So, yeah, it could have something to do with that, but I don't think so. I think there's something very specific going on here. I think that they wanted to come out this week, but something else is coming out this week that's very similar to this game. And with that said, we move into the week's reminders. And let's talk a little bit about what's coming out this week. Ruuts, is there any other game that has you grappling around fighting undead hordes?
A dark cloud looms on the horizon. A bitter cold blows through the desert sands, heralding the doom that will soon be upon us. Hearken, my brothers and sisters. Do not fear, for we are the clerics of the Order, forged in the fires of battle and tempered by the winds of adversity. This is the reason we are all here. Our Order shall stand as a beacon of light against the tide of darkness that threatens to consume our world once again. Let us unleash our fury upon the enemy and show them a ferocity the likes of which they have never seen. Fight! Fight tooth and bloody nail with all you have, clerics. For if we fail, our world will burn. A dark...
Everslaught Invasion is out this week, Roots. This is the Quest 2 exclusive version of one of our favorite early access PC VR games, Everslaught. Not only is Everslaught coming to Quest this week, Roots, notably, this game was supposed to come out in April, and now it got pushed into May. I'm just saying. But not only is it coming to Quest, Roots, but they're implementing co-op. This is a co-op Everslaught. That's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, I think they very well could be distancing themselves between the two games. They are very similar, like you said. Although, like I was saying between the break, I really like the way the other games, the Dead Hook's movement system, the way that you're moving around. I just really like the way that looked. But I can't wait to try them both. They both look cool.
Yeah, I think that Joyway, they still have yet to learn a certain lesson when it comes to marketing VR games. And that lesson is, if you put out a good, polished game, people are going to buy it. It doesn't matter what you're going head to head with. It doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. All that matters is that you're not giving a half-ass effort. Early access game that still has a bunch of stuff coming later for it. Bring a good, fun, polished game to market, and people are going to find out about it and buy it. That's just the rule number one when it comes to VR gaming and gaming in general.
Maybe this delay is going to be really good for them. They're going to have everything finished. They said they were implementing the extra stuff they were going to do down the road. They're doing now before the release. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing both of these. And actually, we're going to cover Everslaught this week on Strangers in the Night. And for those of you who haven't been paying attention, Strangers in the Night is now permanently moved to Friday. We Wednesday just isn't working for us anymore with my change in employment. And, and of course, obviously that involves Eric as well. So Wednesdays are getting tougher for us. I mean, we could do a show on Wednesday. The problem is that on Monday and Tuesday, we have no time to play games. So we go into Wednesday unprepared. So what we're doing now is we're going to start doing the Strangers in the Night on Friday nights, which we've done for the last couple of weeks in a row. And, to mostly positive reception, I would say. Friday
fun day.
That's right.
Party time.
I've only had one person say no. I wish it was on Wednesday, but the context of that is they believe that by us going on Friday that we're going to cancel more Sunday shows, and that the reason we canceled last Sunday was because of the Friday thing, and that just wasn't the case. Like, I went live on Sunday, we didn't do a news show, right?
Right. Yeah, that's never going to be the case. I mean, it's just about not having news or whatever. So,
yep. Anyway, we're happy with it so far. We're going to try Friday out, and this Friday, one of the titles that we're going to be covering is Everslaught Invasion. So be sure to tune in for that, dude. I look forward to getting in this game this week with you and killing some undead assholes.
Yeah, it's going to be badass.
But you know what, Roots? This is far from the last thing that's out this week. There's a ton of shit out this week. X8 is out in early access now. This is basically a Valorant clone from what I'm hearing in VR, although I've never played Valorant, and I can't confirm nor deny that. What I do like about this, Roots, it seems polished, and it is free to play right now. That you're not going to have any, you shouldn't have any trouble finding people to play with, because everyone you know that has a headset can play this game for free.
What about the squeakies, Wes? Are there squeakies going to be in there?
Yeah, we're going to have to get some private lobbies going, that's for sure. But I did specifically think about the squeakers when I saw this game, because my kids are always in their quest, always looking for stuff for their friends to play. You know, they're kind of on an island, my kids, because they have every game, right? They have every game on every platform, and some of them aren't even out yet. But their friends, they're just kids, right? They can't just go buy games to play with my kids. So they're always looking for that next free to play game. And I think this is that, at least for the time being.
Why don't their parents just start a podcast? VR podcast and get some free games. Yeah, that's what we did. That's why we did it, just to get our family games, right? Free games.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And there's loads of ways to take advantage of that and manipulate it and make it work out really well. But yeah, that's how we get paid. That's our payment, Roots, is that we get to play every game. Although it's a blessing and a curse, because when you have every game to play, then you don't ever sit down and just play anything start to finish anymore, right?
No, you're constantly jumping in to check this out or whatever. You don't go back to it. It's a curse, but I would never, begrudgingly say, oh yeah, this is horrible. I think it's a blessing, but more than a curse.
One of these days, man, we're like retired, like 90 years old, time not to do any more podcasts. We're going to have the most fucking amazing library of games to go back to.
Yeah, I'll be spending time in the holodeck. I'll be probably hanging out with, they'll have a brand new version of every game brought in there. So
I'm going to go finally play Battlezone.
Yes, Battlezone. I think I'll probably go back into Seeking Dawn, probably back at that point, right? And we still need to get into that.
I'm going to play the first Fisherman's Tale when I'm 85
when you're
old.
90 years old. Wes like, okay, Roots, it's finally time to get into Fisherman's Tale. Check it out.
Virtual Slave Cat agrees. Says, yeah, the holodeck. What's up, Sean S. joining us? What's up? Good to see you. Get X8, Sean. It's free. Everyone can have it.
Somebody said they thought it was just 8, not X8. But, according to the article, they call it X8, right?
Eric says, I'm quitting all podcasts to play games. It seems like a more likely scenario the more work we get at Impact, right? Like something has to give. We have to make some time to play games. Although I would suggest, Eric, if you want more time to play games, stop playing Ghost of Tabor all the fucking time, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You have plenty of time for Battlezone then.
He's becoming an expert, though. Crack shot.
Eric's putting in his notice he's not doing Friday nights with us now. He's just going to play Ghost of Tabor all the time.
It's all the time, 24/7.
But Eric, what if we start doing Strangers in the Night from Ghost of Tabor?
Ooh, I think that's a good idea.
Like every episode's on location.
On location from Tabor, and we'll just be shooting stuff.
You could do that if they would let you share a safe house, which I wish they would do. Just let people squat up in the same safe house and everyone has their room or whatever. That'd be cool.
I want my own room if we got a safe house.
I would have my own room if it weren't for Marsha. Marsha.
Oh, yeah, that bitch. Dude, I hope she gets her nose broke by a football or something. Or some kind of a ball, right?
Eric says, I'm currently editing Ghost of Tabor videos. Dude, you just put a Ghost of Tabor video out. You got another one coming?
Yeah.
Eric did a video today, how to do a solo run.
How to get good. That's how I read it.
Yeah. That's how do you do that, Eric? By the way, I need the help.
What you need, the first thing you do is you get a cheat program that sees people wiggle, and then you'll be able to know where everybody's at. That's the way to win.
Logan Kildea. is here. What's up? How are you? Thanks for joining us. Roots, I've seen a lot of new names in the chat tonight, haven't you?
Yeah, which is awesome. I love new names. Actually, I love the old names. I love them all. Although Time to Play VR was saying that wanted to know where my blue balls were, and my blue balls came back. Wes, you know who hates blue balls? Or actually, I think she loves to cause them.
My mom!
Like, really loves it.
Logan wants to know what's your favorite VR game, Roots?
My favorite VR game of all time, it's not even a VR game, it's probably Red Dead, but that's a mod. If we were going traditional, I don't know, man. There's so many good ones. Crashland is one at the top, but I think at this point, it probably would be Resident Evil 8 Village. But that's recency bias, but that game is so good, right?
I'm feeling you, man. I'm feeling like this year's Game of the Year contenders are my favorite games. Like Village, Resident Evil 8 Village, The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, Retribution, Vertigo 2. Those are the best games I've played, I feel like. And then you're right, it could be recency bias. We don't know how it'll hold up over time, but that's how it feels right now.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Red Matter 2 is pretty good too. Although, you know, I do love my old favorites. I love my Farpoints, my Rush of Bloods, my my Astrobots too. It's hard to pick one, Logan. We could give you 30 pretty easily, but it's not that easy. You know, I did top 50 on PSVR without parole, and I had to spend some time narrowing it down. Like,
was Super Hot
there's a
on
lot
there?
of good games now. I don't know.
Remember when GT was saying that like a couple weeks ago, it was like top 15. I was like, no, because I've had that conversation with people so many times that because we all forget how many good ones, and then you start to go through a list, and it gets knocked out quick. It's like, fuck, man, 15 of all time? No, man. You're talking. That's a hard discussion to have.
I could give you 30 must-play titles off the top of my head. I guarantee it. Like stuff that you need to play if you have VR.
Logan says, just for that answer, you got yourself a new sub. Well, we appreciate that.
Yes. And Money Dream Team's here representing the Gamecast. What's up, Money? Good to see you. Says Propagation is the one that I'm excited for. You know what? You should be. And don't get like overly hyped for it. It's not like Resident Evil 8 or anything, but it's solid. And if you like a nice horror shooter, it's solid, man. It's better than most of these games that have come out lately. So
it's fast paced, and there's moments where you're gonna die, and it's just because things are happening so fast. And I'm like trying to reload my shotgun, and I'm like, fuck, man. You know, like
chaotic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's chaotic. It's the way I like it, though.
Brandon says Breachers is better than Switchback, and I don't know if I agree with that or not. I'm sure a lot of people would, just because of the type of game it is.
It's different type of game. It's hard to say that because Breachers is, it's probably arguably one of the best, if not the best, shooter in VR next to Firewall Zero Hour, right? But it's because that genre of Rainbow Six Siege is so good, right? And Breachers does it very well. But that also could be recency bias. So
that's true. Dr. Dance, would you agree Resident Evil 9 comes to VR? I think so. I think that going forward, I think it's a process. You know, as VR becomes more and more of a mainstream thing, we're going to see more and more mainstream AAA games come out with their VR version. I think Resident Evil's already in that camp. They're already firmly entrenched in VR development. I think it's a fairly easy thing for them to do now going forward to make their games VR games. So I think we're going to continue to see Resident Evil 9, 10, and beyond in VR.
And they've seen what's happening with all the other games, PC VR. If they don't do it, somebody else is going to be making money off it. So, or at least making mods, right? So they might as well keep doing it. And they do it so well. And like you said, it's already established. So
Nicky Barrio says, I've played hundreds of hours of Arizona Sunshine on Rift Quest and Steam each. I'm the same way. Arizona Sunshine back in the day was my go-to. Anytime that I'm bringing somebody into VR and I want to teach them how to play a VR game, we play Arizona Sunshine co-op. I've played through that campaign so many times. I mean, me and you, Roots, have played through that game multiple times, right? Or not through the game, but through like DLCs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah, definitely
underrated. Anyway, we move along to the next, the next zombie game coming to VR this week.
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us today. Time and time again, we get asked questions about game porting. After all, it's a big topic. People want to know things like 1. When will it happen? 2. On which platform? 3. Will there be any major difference from the Quest version? You got questions? Luckily, we've got answers. On today's video, we cover what you need to know. Let's kick it off by addressing the most pressing question on people's mind. Hey, what's the holdup? Why hasn't it happened yet? As you probably know by now, Death Horizon Reloaded has been a long and ongoing process. Plus, we are a small team. For a long period of time, the MetaQuest platform was our primary focus, and we wanted to provide as much new and awesome content as possible for the game. Technically, there was no way to make updates to the game on multiple platforms simultaneously. Had we decided to roll ahead and port the game to Steam or another platform 1 or 2 years ago, then development for the Quest platform would have had to stop. Nobody wanted that, right? No, of course not. So that's why we decided to finish the main development stage first. Our goal was to do this before porting the game elsewhere. Okay, on to question number 2. When and what platforms? We expect the final version of the game to be released on Steam this spring. We are also considering porting the game to Pico, Viveport and PlayStation VR, but we don't have a set date for that yet, so stay tuned. And finally, you're probably itching to ask, what's the difference between versions? Well, the main difference between the Quest and PC versions will be the improved graphics on the PC. We will improve some textures and add post effects. The version for Pico and other VR standalone headsets will be similar to the Quest version. I hope I answered all your questions about game porting. If you have any more questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll answer ASAP. As always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We've got tons of amazing content on the way. Our next video will be very interesting, I promise. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Death Horizon Reloaded coming this week, or already, I think it's already on the store actually. Coming to Steam VR this week, possibly to PlayStation VR2 a little bit down the road. From what I understand, minimal upgrades to this game, at least at this point for Steam VR. But it's all right, man. This is a fully fleshed out zombie shooter. For someone like me and Mickey Barrios, who are tired of playing through Arizona Sunshine over and over and over again, and you want something else that gives you that same kind of satisfaction, you can't really do better than this.
Yeah, absolutely. What was that guy signing for the beginning? I was trying to watch what he was. I appreciate people letting us know, because until I saw somebody in the chat tell me, I didn't know that it was low. But we'll try to keep it up there, and we appreciate it. Is it coming to the Rift store? I'll tell you what. That's a good question, because is there a rhyme or reason what comes to the Rift store anymore? I'm surprised that thing even exists, because there's so few games going in there. And I just don't check anymore. So
here's the thing. It might, but I mean, if it does, he's not going to make any money from it. So he's going to be expected to make it cross-buy, rightfully so. So if it does come, I don't think it'll be anytime soon. I think he'll give Steam players a little bit of time to buy the game before he makes it available on the Rift store. Some people want to be critical of this game because, it's not like super realistic graphics, and, the gunplay isn't one-to-one realism either. But it's a fun like arcade style shooter. Um, he's put a lot of time into adding levels into this game and making it a proper campaign. People, when they talk about this game, Roots, they forget that originally this was like a Gear VR game. It wasn't even a 6 DoF VR game. It was a 3 DoF zombie shooter with like 1 or 2 levels. Now it has 5 big levels, and it's fully 6 DoF. And I've had fun every time I've went in and played this game.
It's co-op, right? We played it together.
Yep, that's right. Fully co-op. You can play the whole campaign together. And by the way, I have played through levels 1 through 4 with multiple people. We haven't gone back into this game since they added the final level into the story campaign.
We don't know how it ends, Wes.
We don't know how it ends, Roots.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, I'm glad that PC VR gamers are going to get a chance to play it. Although I feel like, especially on Steam VR, people are going to kind of shit on it a little bit because it's a Quest game. But well, what else do these guys have to play? Ports, I guess, or mods.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I recommend it. I don't think it costs very much either. Let me.
Maybe what, 15 or 19? I can't see it being more than $19.95.
Yeah, it's 15 or $20. It doesn't cost very much. It's a decent length campaign, like 4 to 6 hours to play through it. Lots of hidden areas and secret collectibles for you to find. And the dogs, Roots, the dogs are vicious.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't love the dogs? Mickey Bear says, I played hundreds of hours of Serious Sam VR, The Last Hope. Have you played that one? I think that might be one of the only ones I haven't played, because that's the one that's more of like a standstill wave shooter one, right? Because the other ones are running around.
This is the one that was made for VR.
Oh, I need to try that one because I love the other Serious Sams. It's super cool. Actually, we need to go back into those ones. Those are probably some of the better shooters to me anyway, those type of games.
90 years old, Roots. That's when we'll do it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll
co-op.
Set my calendar.
Co-op in those games. You can play co-op in those games, right?
Yeah, dude, and that's crazy. That's like the craziest action that's going on. And I love the way the sounds are it's so good in VR, where you just hear certain enemies coming at you screaming, and fuck man, I need to turn around and go that way immediately, because if I don't, I'm gonna die. I like it.
You know what else I like, Roots? Sarcastically, I say that. This next game's awesome. So Roots NOCK is coming to PlayStation VR 2 this week.
It's awesome.
And I'm hearing some very positive things about it initially. Now, we played this game on Quest, got destroyed, and never went back to it. I thought I was going to like this game a lot more than I did. But there are people that will fight you to the death over this game and say it's like the most awesome thing ever. I don't know, man. I think it's going to find a nice home on PlayStation VR. I think a lot of people are going to dig it. I didn't care for the movement in the game, but again, we didn't take time to get good at it either.
Yeah, that's the thing. Taking the time to get good at a game like this, and I think our problem was, Wes, and we've said it before, is at least I did. I even told Wes, man, I'm gonna be so good at this, man. Like, we went in thinking we're gonna be good, and then we got our asses wiped by everybody that we played. It's a very competitive game. I'm not, like I was telling you during the trailer, like I I want Rocket League. I think that's the problem. People want Rocket League. They don't want a Rocket League knockoff. No pun intended. And this one is a very, very far knockoff. You know what I mean? It's similar enough, but it's not. And it just takes a lot of time to invest, I would think. And I think it will do better on PlayStation than it did on the other platforms. So
Yeah, crossplay already fully enabled. Like if Quest players can play with PlayStation players. So yeah, I think that it's fairly priced. It's a popular type of game, and I think a lot of people are going to dig it.
Yeah.
So congratulations to all the PSVR gamers out there that have been waiting on a new esport.
Eric says, "Speak for yourself." I was awesome at this Ruuts. Yeah, we were all awesome, dude. Remember, we were running circles around those kids.
They were just knocking the tip off into the net over and over and over again.
And
we couldn't stop it.
It was just a joke how bad it was.
Anyways, I hope you like it. Coming next week. That's not all, though, that's coming next week to PSVR 2.
Oof. Jeez. Hello Neighbor, Search and Rescue coming to all major VR platforms this week. Ruuts, this was supposed to be a PSVR 2 launch titles, but it got pushed back. I don't know, maybe for important business reasons? What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds like it. Actually, it's going to come out right about the right time, man. There's like not much out coming out right now, and this looks very intriguing. I don't know what the series is. I've never known what Hello Neighbor is, but I'm looking forward to checking it out. It looks good.
It's a stealth game. It's a stealth game. I think it's going to play a lot like, well, not a lot like, but something like the Intruders, hide and seek, but it's not going to be all scary like that one is. It's going to be, I think the hook with this one is that it's actually party based. It's single player party based. So you have a cast of characters that you have at your disposal. Each of them have a special ability. So you'll be this kid to kind of solve this problem. You're trying to infiltrate the neighbor's house because you suspect that he's kidnapped one of your friends and has them in the basement or something. And you're trying to get in there and rescue them. But you're going to be switching back and forth between players and kind of doing teamwork with yourself to progress. And I think it has some potential. I've never played like the flat Hello Neighbor, but fairly popular game. And anything that's got money behind it in VR, I'm looking forward to trying out.
Absolutely. I think that Neighbor's innocent. I think the kid is probably on vacation. And you're just a fucking kid. You don't know what you're doing, causing problems. Yeah, so I'll tell you what, it definitely seems intriguing. Old Dar says it looks like Goonies in VR. I think it kind of does. I think Radio Runt would probably say this is very underrated then, like Goonies is one of the most underrated movies of all time, as he always says anyway.
Virtual Slayer Cat says definitely don't pre-order it. Don't ever pre-order games, by the way, unless you're just absolutely sure of what you're getting.
The days of pre-ordering games are over. Now, if you want to pre-order, I mean, if you want to order a game on Steam or Quest or something, you at least have a 2-hour window. You know,
right.
PlayStation, you're stuck. So make sure, definitely for sure. But why not wait for reviews and just see what it's like? You know?
Yeah, you're gambling. You're gambling your money to try to get that 10 or 20% discount or whatever they offer. Just wait.
Yeah.
Brian Paul will tell you if it's good. I'll tell you if it's good.
Yeah.
We'll tell you it's good this Friday, maybe, if we get we get access to the PlayStation version quickly enough. Maybe we cover this one this week. If not, definitely covering it soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, shit, dude, that was 5 games out this week. No way possible that there's anything else coming out this week, right?
Yeah.
I am the one who knocks! Sorry for that. But of course, shoes. Oh, you're back. Ready to listen?
Crimen Mercenary Tales coming to Quest platform this week. We actually covered this game this past Friday. We all had a chance to play it, and it was okay, man. It was pretty solid arcade style, story based, or I guess I should say episodic, story based melee game, and then with a little bit of a sense of humor, right?
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. The I guess the real story here, or will be, what the cost is, and we were just you were trying to find that between, and there's just no price out there, so we have no. So it really, if this is overpriced, it's not going to land well. If it's priced well, it's worth checking out, right? I thought the stories were good, at least the ones I tried. That the gameplay was fun, but samey. Did kind of change as you went along, right?
Yeah,
different things adding.
It was all right. It was all right. Like I would say that it, you know, having only played a little bit of it, admittedly, I played like 90 minutes of it maybe. It seems like it's going to be a solid 7, right? Like it's going to be an okay game to play. Pretty fun.
Yeah. So I guess if it's too much money, then get it on sale.
$20. Don't go past $20 on it. I would say if they put 25 on it, wait.
If they make it 15 or lower, which I don't think it would be lower than 15, but that would be the perfect spot.
Agreed. But it is coming from Carbon Studios. Carbon Studios always does good work, and this included. Pretty good. You know, Roots, Forever Pool was out on Steam this week, too. I didn't even put it in here.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of stuff out this week. Like, Forever Pool is on Steam now, and it's on, like, a gigantic discount. And by the way, why don't we talk a little bit about that? Well, let's talk about this week's free stuff and killer deals. We'll try to move through this quickly because there's a lot of free stuff and killer deals. First of all, here's your reminder, your monthly reminder to claim your PlayStation Plus free games for May. There's only a couple weeks left on them. What is it this month? There was, I'll click on the link here. Grid Legends is included this month. Descenders, which is a mountain biking game, and Chivalry 2.
Ooh.
All included with your PlayStation Plus subscription, but you have to claim them before the month's up.
and time is running out. So if you haven't claimed your PS Plus games, claim them now. Also, last call on Swordsman VR, free upgrade to PlayStation VR2. Roots, they said that they would allow free upgrades for 3 months on Swordsman VR. PlayStation VR2 launched on February 22nd. It is May 21st.
About to end.
Get your free upgrade now. It won't be free next week. Get it now. Click on it. It's easy. You just click a couple things, and it's in your library forever. But you have to claim it now, like right now. Go do it.
Easy click.
Easy click. Roots, there's tons of cool free shit this week, man. First of all, over on Steam, Metro Last Light, Ultimate Edition or Complete Edition or whatever, 100% free on Steam right now for a few more days.
Yeah, and if you don't play flat games, which I question your soul, if you don't play the best of the best flat games that are out there, it's one of those things that you never know. They might mod it. I guess I don't know if it's Unreal Engine. It might be, as if it's Unreal, you might be able to play it anyway, right? So I pick up all these games, like especially like even the PlayStation Plus. And I was going to say this earlier, like you might not play stuff. Like I'm legitimately probably going to start playing Bloodborne again, because I never really played through the complete game, and I've just been craving Dark Souls, and that's such an awesome game that was a PlayStation exclusive, and I own it from PlayStation Plus. So, you know, you might not want to play it today, and you might tomorrow. So why not pick it up?
Been a lot of chatter over the years about maybe a Bloodborne remake or a Bloodborne sequel coming up soon. So maybe we will hear something about that this Wednesday.
There's been rumors, Wes, but there's always rumors. But I guess these ones are seem to be more credible. And I would love a PlayStation 5 remastered version. And it would also be another reason, just like so many others, to buy a PS5. You know, I swear PlayStation is nailed it with this console generation, whereas Xbox is not. Like, they've given you so many reasons to get a PS5, and Xbox has given you almost
they've
zero.
They've given up Roots. Xbox has given up Roots.
I think they have.
I mean, they pretty much said it, right? Phil Spencer said it.
No, but didn't you hear how people that are fanboys they like said that's not what he said? Like, that's not what he said, dude.
Like, the words that came out of his mouth aren't what he actually said.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Anyways, Steam, not the only place giving you awesome banger titles for free right now. Of course, Epic Games, not to be outdone, giving you Death Stranding for free. Talk about a game that needs to be in VR, Roots. Death Stranding.
Yeah, I think that's another one that'd be amazing in the mods. I think, didn't they give this? Somebody else who gave this away. I thought maybe Epic gave it away once before.
Yeah, they did. It was already in my library when I went to claim it.
Yeah, but definitely worth picking up for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Hideo Kojima, Norman Reedus, how could you go wrong?
Yeah, it's a very bizarre game, I heard, right? Looks cool.
It's weird, dude. I mean, look, he's holding a little baby there with a spacesuit on.
Who isn't holding a little baby these days?
Anyway, we move along. Let's talk about some VR deals. Have you got Fallout 4 yet? Have you got Skyrim VR yet? Have you got Doom VFR yet? Have you got Wolfenstein's? Well, let's forget about Wolfenstein. Have you got these other three Roots? Because they're $25 for all 4 Bethesda VR games right now.
Wow, that's crazy. What a deal, huh? Fallout 4 and Skyrim alone, but Doom VFR is actually a good game, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. These are $60 games. The Doom or the Fallout and the Skyrim are. Now you can get them on sale sometimes for like 20 and 25, and occasionally they'll go down to like 18. But to get all 4 of these titles for $25 is an amazing deal. These still rank among some of the best VR games that you'll ever play. And Fanatical.com, $25, 84% off retail price.
Wow, that's crazy.
Incredible. That's not the only deal that Fanatical's got going on right now, though, Roots. There's also a build your own Quest VR collection going on with that. They give you a menu here to pick from.
different pricing depending on how many titles you want to get. But if you get 10, you can get these games for $9.50 each. And Swarm's on there, Creed's on there, Ragnarok, Sirento, Shadowgate, Forever Bowl, Forever Pool, Zombieland, Table of Tales, Yuki, Death Horizon we just talked about is on here, Pinball Effects 2. And who doesn't love the cornhole, Roots?
You know who loves the cornhole the most, Wes?
My mom!
She loves it when you play the game with her. So you get 10 games for $95.
Yep. Upertagrad's on there. Gadgeteer, Mare. I mean, a lot of titles on here. A lot of stuff people would say, well, maybe I'll just wait to get it on sale. Well, guess what? It's on sale. And you don't have to get 10. Like you can get, if you get 4 of them, you can get them for $10 each. You can get 2 of them for like $10.50 each. Like it's a good deal anyway around. And some of this stuff is must own, like Swarm and Shadowgate. Zombieland's awesome. Death Horizon's awesome. Like there's some good stuff in here.
Table of Tales.
You don't have any of these.
Dude, I was just saying, man, if you really there, I mean, I could see at least 5 or 6 that are like really should have type of games on here. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great deal. If you're missing any of these titles out of your Quest library, here's your chance to pick them up at a substantial discount thanks to Fanatical. All right, moving along, one more thing before we get out of free stuff and killer deals, and that is Steam VR. There is some shit on sale on Steam right now, Roots. Like tons of great VR games on heavy discounts, and I'm not even going to try to go down and list all this shit. I think I'm not looking at your screen there, but I think I have to. Some of this stuff is not on sale. Why is it not working?
I don't know. I've got everything that's on this page that I'm looking at. Dude, Headmaster, Wes, $5.
$5 for Headmaster. You know who else is a Headmaster?
She's the best Headmaster. But I'll tell you what, that's such a good game for you would think is simple. Kind of like 2MD VR Football Unleashed All-Star is $11. That's a great game too, right?
Yeah. There's so many good ones. We were just talking about Arizona Sunshine. It's $10. Walkabout Mini Golf is $10.
Oh my God, that's probably one of the best games you can get out there. $10. What a steal.
Medal of Honor, $32, which is normally $40. Guardians Frontline we covered today. It's $20.
That's sadly it's Bradley's #1 disappointment in VR was Medal of Honor on release.
Rover's on sale. Forever Pool just launched on Steam. It's $10 right now.
Wow. What a deal, huh? Okay, what about Candy Smash? If you're 28 cents, Wes, dude, you're set.
Not worth it.
Not worth it. Have you tried it?
Not worth it. No.
Yeah,
I have tried Rush though.
Oh,
Rush
yeah.
is $5.
Well, so is 1976 Back to Midway, $5.24. That's a steal.
Robinson the Journey Roots, $5.
Yeah, it's fucking dinosaurs, right?
That's right. It's fucking dinosaurs in VR, bro. Omega Pilot, which we don't recommend anyone buy because they don't have our virtual strangers.
Yeah, that's crap. Where's our virtual strangers? Although you can ride with GT and Anthony, which is cool.
That's true. Presentiment of Death, Roots. This game came out less than 2 months ago. This is like super hot with bow and arrow. Everyone says it's got positive reviews. Already half off, $7.49 for this game.
Wow, what a steal. That's crazy. 2 months and it's already on sale.
Death Horizon Reloaded, 2 days and it's on sale. $16.99 right now on Steam.
It's crazy.
Anyway, we could keep going on and on and on and on. There's so many great games on sale right now on Steam. Just go check it out. If you're a PC VR gamer, just go to Steam, click on discounted in the VR section, and just start scrolling, bro. I'm still scrolling. I've been scrolling the whole time that we've been in this segment, and it's still going. Like Secret of Retropolis, $5. It has a sequel upcoming. Like, who doesn't want that?
That's true. Awesome Tatum wants to know, says Dirt Rally 2.0. That's one I never picked up. Is it recommended? The thing about my only thing, Awesome Tatum, is somebody's in there yelling at me to telling me what to do, and I can't push them out of my car. But other than that, I do need to try some dirt rally with my wheel. They say that's where it makes a big difference, right?
Yeah, well, I played it with the wheel. I found it very difficult to control, but it was the first thing I played in my wheel, and it's a dirt rally game, so yeah.
That's true.
You know what though, Roots? Lawn is on sale for 36% off. It's $19 right now.
Oh my God. You know what's free? Arizona Sunshine, if you pick up the Steam key that Mickey Bear just dropped in the chat. So
Mickey
somebody's
Bear
going to
is
get
looking for
Arizona
somebody new
Sunshine
to-
for free.
So Mickey's looking for somebody new to co-op with.
Yeah.
There you go. Grab it up, ladies and gents. A classic VR classic. Egg Time 2 Roots, $3.49.
Oh God, I got to get that. That sounds like something that might be on 5-Port Infinity, which we need to check out one of these days soon.
I would bet money that that's on Viport. Guarantee you that's on Viport. All right, we're starting to get into kind of the weird stuff now. Slime Village VR. Captain Toonhead's $10 right now. I just got an update.
Is that with the Chancellor or whatever?
Yeah, that's right. Just got a Horde mode update.
Oh, nice. Wolf Raza's throwing a $1.99 super chat. Says, "Grats on 3K, guys. 4 is around the corner." It sure is. Next week.
That's right.
Pushing it.
This week. We might do it next month, man. People tune in for all this PSVR goodness and Quest 3 talk, Apple VR. We might get a big surge.
Yeah, share us around. You know.
Thanks, Wolfie. Thanks
Appreciate it for sure.
For the support. I'm just gonna have to put out a one of those videos with the thumbnails with me screaming in it. And
I think if we just changed our thumbnail, I was telling Dee this today. We just leave our thumbnail the same, but we just rotate between like 6 or 7 different open mouth pictures. You know what I mean? I think that's the thing. You know?
You know who has a lot more than 6 or 7 open mouth pictures on the internet?
My mom!
Oh, she does, but you can't judge her though. I think it's the only fan, right?
That's right.
It's worth it.
Absolutely. Best deal on
deal
the internet.
That's right.
Let's move along to the next item on the reminder list, and that is, it's time to wish list something. So this is where we ask all of you to take a moment of your time, give us a few clicks to help support the awesome game devs out there that keep us in games. They always ask people to review and wish list. Now we're going to take a minute and do it all together at the same time.
I'm going to try. I may have already got it wish listed, but I'm going to try to wish list Dead Hook.
Yeah, I know I've already done that one. I'm going to go to Steam and wish list Death Horizon VR. I should have done it while I was in there a moment ago.
Yeah, if I try to click on this, it says I can remove it. I don't want to remove it. Must already be on my wish list.
What about NOCK, Roots? You're not going to wish list NOCK?
No, I was. Never mind. You changed my mind. I need to play it on PlayStation VR to have the true experience, the NOCK experience. I actually did click on Dead Hook by mistake and removed it and added it. Does that count as a adder?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know how the algorithms work on the Steam store, but I'm going to say
either.
yes.
Well, this is on the Quest store.
I got to scroll back down here and find Death Horizon again now.
I can't.
VR Dragon Flight. Bocce Time. Egg Time 2. Just banger after banger, Roots.
Yeah, for real. Well, those are the best ones. I don't see for Everslaught Invasion. I don't see a wish list for this. Although
there should be on the Quest store. There should be, because you can pre-order it.
Yeah, it's not. Maybe because it's in my library. I don't know.
Maybe. Oh yeah, that's probably it, because you already own it. I mean, in theory.
Yeah, I may or may not. Bluebell, $9.99 super chat says, "I'll have to be part of the replay crew, but thank you for another awesome show." Bluebell, thank you for being an awesome community member, not only here, but in pretty much every amazing community out there in VR.
Right. It's all one community, Rich. We're just different branches of it.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, I wishlisted Death Horizon Reloaded on Steam. Let us know in the comments down below what you wishlisted this week.
At West, we did really good. I saw somebody commenting saying, "Yeah, I watched here from the start." Diego Darko, which we appreciate you being here from the start. And Wes was saying, I don't know how we're going to get this done in under 3 hours. We're sitting now at 2 hours and 17 minutes, and that isn't 100% accurate.
I've been pushing, bro. I've been pushing through those headlines, trying not to linger on one thing for too long, and we're almost there.
You're cranking it out, dude.
That's right. You know who else is cranking it out?
My mom!
On crank, ironically. Sometimes meth.
Anyways, that brings us to our final reminder this week and every week, and that is how you can support us, our channel, our community, and yourselves. You know, you're part of the community, so why not support yourselves? You can do so easily. I guess the most easy thing for you to do is click the big red subscribe button. That's the one thing that really helps. Comments help a lot too, by the way. We don't ask people for comments enough, Roots. I think maybe part of the intros from now on, maybe we should start kind of going back and reading some of the comments from the last video.
That's a good idea. Comment of the day.
Encourage people to comment. The algorithm, the evil YouTube algorithm, places a premium on likes and comments. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and wait until we're done talking and then go leave a comment down below. It'll help us out quite a bit. But first and foremost, make sure you're subscribed. That way you can be notified when we go live on Friday, on Sunday, whatever day of the week I decide to stream on, which I'm planning on hopefully starting to do again pretty soon. Got to get back to Fallout Roots.
Absolutely. You're crazy though, Wes. There's nobody out there that watches the show that's not subscribed. Everybody that watches is subscribed. I know it.
Over half. Over half.
Oh, well, that's good.
Over half.
That should be 100%.
When I say over half, I mean over half of the people that watch are not subscribed.
What? Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Right?
That's crazy.
It's kind of insulting. It's like a slap in the face, right? Like they like it enough to watch it, but not enough to give us that click.
Just give it the click, man. You'll feel better about it. I promise. I promise you. Let's see. Virtual or Slayer Cat with a 20 Canadian dollars support. You like this, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Virtual Slayer Cat. Thank you, Salvador. Salvador leaving $5 US. Can't wait till you guys hit 4K. That's definitely going to make the show look awesome. You all the best. Thank you. Thank you. It is going to make us look awesome because, again, our 4K is the real 4K, right? It's not some bullshit bot farm in India. It's not people who clicked on our clickbait, open mouth gaping shit. They're not here for anything other than to get the straight dope on VR games, and that's what we dish out day after day, year after year.
Yeah, this is the real deal, yo.
Real deal. So thank you, Bluebell. Thank you, Salvador. Thank you, Slayer Cat. Thank you to the patrons. Like the people who are already subscribed that want to do a little something extra can do so by supporting us with monies on Patreon. And then we don't, it's a two-way street. We don't just take the monies, we give, Roots. We give our weekly show notes, which, by the way, were fucking epic length today, making up for the missed show last Sunday. We had so much shit on the cutting room floor. I mean, it's going to take you all day to just sort through all the different news stories in there. Beyond that, you get exclusive content, which is what I did last week. Because we didn't do a show and I didn't have show notes, I uploaded an exclusive gameplay, Propagation Paradise Hotel, 2.5 hour video gameplay for the patrons. Just a way to say thank you for your support. And then we also occasionally do insider updates when I have personal things to share with people, channel news and whatnot. We sometimes upload that kind of thing onto Patreon. Anyway, the moral of the story is whether you're a subscriber, whether you're a patron or donate some other way, we appreciate all of you. We couldn't do this without you, and you all rock.
Yeah, absolutely. Zaylen Maru with a $5 super chat doesn't say anything, just drops the mic. And that's perfect.
That's right.
Perfect thing. And Bluebell, can't wait to look at the notes. I know every week Bluebell's excited to look at the notes. And I'll tell you what, man, you can't go in there and look at all the notes that Wes gets out there and not pretty much you'll know. You don't even need to watch any other podcasts because everything that's covered in any of those podcasts, I guarantee Wes has them in those notes.
Lots of hardware stuff in there this week. Lots of metaverse stuff. I mean, We talked about Yaroslav Beck for a moment. There's a story in there linked about that. I mean, there's tons of stuff in there that we didn't talk about. We might cover some of it tomorrow on the VR CruCast, as I do think we're going to be there. Although I don't think Brad's going to be there tomorrow, which sucks because I wanted to talk to him about this Samsung story where Samsung bought up his favorite micro OLED manufacturer. I wanted to ask Brad if we're going to get a headset this year.
Talk to him before so you can relay the information.
I guess that's true. I guess I could just like go ask Brad right now, and I'm sure he would be happy to talk about it. That guy, he lives it.
Right, and then you can relay it on the show, right? So
we'll just wait. We'll wait to talk about it on the show when Brad gets back. I'm sure we'll have plenty of cool gaming related stuff. I'm sure we'll be speculating about the showcase and doing all that stuff tomorrow. So quick.
You know what we need on the Discord, Wes? Which, speaking of the Discord, there's a link below, and free. We need something that's not free. It's linked to the Patreon. We need a Patreon channel for the patrons, agree with that. And then we can alter as it fluctuates, and it'll just be a good place for people to meet. We can also have links to the to everything that's in there or whatever,
Mickey Barrio says we need to do a new cutting room floor episode, a podcast on Wednesday.
Oh, I think so. I think we need to add one more podcast. That'd be a great way to free up some time for you.
I need a 5th podcast that I do every week. That's exactly what I need to do.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I did another podcast with Anthony and Skiva, and I stepped away because it was too much, and now I'm doing CruCast and all sorts of shit. It's like,
yeah, I know, right? For what it's worth, Mickey, I do offer up my show notes to Gamertag VR to kind of plan the CruCast around when we need show notes or topics. He can always go to that cutting room floor and pull some stuff from it. Although more and more we're just covering stuff on there that we talk about on here.
Yeah.
But it's cool to have everyone's perspective on it. We got Skiva and Alex there, Eric and Brad and Ruuts and myself and GT. It's a good time. And the best segments on that show, Ruuts, have jack shit to do with VR.
I know we're all over the place. That's why I love it. But it's because we're all friends, and so I think that translates into the conversation as well. It's cool.
It does. We don't need topics on that show. It's just good anyway. Better without topics.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, my wife chiming in, no, Mickey, no more podcasts.
She's finally got her husband back for a good chunk of time now, and that's got to be so awesome. And for your family.
Yeah, it is.
Dad's at home all the time. It's just got to be so cool. And you're not tired.
It is cool.
God is good.
Yeah. It is indeed. Blessed. # blessed. It's a good year. I told you this was going to be the year, Ruuts, and it's definitely the year.
Yeah.
It's already the year. It's only going to get better.
Yep, I agree.
Anyway, hit us up on Discord. We're on there 24/7, 365, lurking, reading what everyone says and not saying a damn thing. No, I'm just kidding. Sometimes we say stuff, but we are always there, accessible to you. If you want to play a game, you want to talk about games, you want to talk about shit that has nothing to do with games. It's a great community. Again, 100% free to join. Never going to put the Discord behind a paywall. A lot of channels do, and I don't mean VR channels, but like bigger YouTubers and stuff, they put their Discord for like $10 a month. That's kind of crazy to me.
That is crazy. I just can't imagine, man. I always thought Discord was just a great place to build a community around,
Yep.
So
that's where we live.
Yeah.
We had some people join the Discord today. One of them seems like it might be a dev. Their handle looks like it might be a dev, but I haven't.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Wonder what kind of game they're making. I think it's What the Bat.
I think so. Maybe they probably came in. How many? Eric's got to be on some list. Eric, you got to be on some list, some developers list.
He's on a terrorist watch list for VR podcast hosts.
Yeah, they're like, if you ever see this guy come up near our booth at the show or something, get him out of here.
Eric, they're gonna take care of the problem. Roots. They're gonna sneak into his bedroom at night. They're gonna have the propagation guys hold him down while the What the Bat guys come up with a knife.
I hope not, because I love Eric.
Problem solved.
We need him. He's the big toe, man. We need him for the balance.
That's right. 100%.
Anyway, I think that's our show for this week, folks. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and ring the bell. And with that said, friends, I'd like to thank you all once again for watching. For Roots, I'm Wes. We will see you very soon, probably tomorrow. Bye now.
Daisy.